Michigan town ousts entire government over Chinese factory plans. China and Canada clash over helicopter incidents in South China Sea. Portuguese PM quits over lithium, hydrogen corruption probe. Saudi Arabia will host Arab, Islamic, and Africa summits to discuss Gaza. U.S. plans to build a $553 million terminal at Sri Lanka's Colombo port. China's northeast hit by unexpected blizzard. This year, virtually certain to be warmest in 125,000 years. Google to delete millions of Gmail accounts next month in huge purge.
Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is Thursday, November 9th, and here are your top stories. A rural Michigan town voted to oust its entire local government Tuesday after the town board approved the construction of a Chinese-affiliated electric battery plant. Residents of Green Charter Township, Michigan, strongly disapproved of their local township board's decision to greenlight the establishment of a Chinese-connected electric vehicle battery plant in their community. It's possible that the factory's connection to the Chinese Communist Party fueled the town's anger, which in turn devoted so many Green Charter Township residents to the polls.
The Chinese-affiliated company Goshen previously denied allegiance to the CCP. However, its corporate records say, the company shall set up a party organization and carry out party activities in accordance with the Constitution of the Communist Party of China. With the overwhelming distrust for the town's government, a clerk from a neighboring township ran the election and counted the ballots. Cheers erupted as voters heard the results from the recall election held to vote out the entire town board.
China and Canada have accused each other of endangering the peace and stability of the South China Sea, after a series of close encounters between their military aircraft in the disputed waterway. According to the Canadian Navy, the latest incident occurred on Sunday, when Chinese fighter jets intercepted a Canadian helicopter twice in a single day. The helicopter was part of the HMCS Winnipeg, a frigate that has been deployed in the Indo-Pacific region as part of Operation Projection, a mission to support regional security and stability.
The Canadian Navy said the Chinese jets endangered the helicopter and violated international law, while the Chinese Defense Ministry accused Canada of jeopardizing China's sovereignty and security. The incident comes after CNN revealed that a Chinese warplane fired flares in front of a Canadian helicopter on October 29, which could have resulted in the downing of the aircraft. The Canadian helicopter was conducting anti-submarine warfare operations with a U.S. Navy destroyer in the South China Sea.
Portuguese Prime Minister Antonio Costa resigned on Tuesday, hours after prosecutors detained his chief of staff in an investigation into alleged corruption in his administration's handling of lithium mining and hydrogen projects. Costa announced the decision in a televised statement after meeting President Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa. It is up to the president now to decide whether to allow Costa's socialists to form a new government or to dissolve parliament and call an election.
Prosecutors are investigating alleged graft and influence peddling in the Barroso and Montalegre lithium exploration concessions in northern Portugal, a project for a hydrogen plant in the port of Sines, and a mega data center investment there. They said they had become aware that the suspects used Costa's name and authority to unblock procedures related to the deals, and the Supreme Court would look into Costa's possible role in the deals.
On Wednesday at the Bloomberg New Economic Forum in Singapore, Saudi Arabia's investment minister Khalid Al-Falih said, "We will see this week. In the next few days, Saudi Arabia convening an emergency Arab summit in Riyadh." He noted the kingdom will also convene an Islamic summit. Al-Falih added, in the short term, the objective of bringing these three summits and other gatherings under the leadership of Saudi Arabia would be to drive towards peaceful resolution of the conflict.
Etimad Online News reported Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi will travel to Saudi Arabia on Sunday for the Organization of Islamic Cooperation Summit, the first visit by an Iranian head of state since Tehran and Riyadh ended years of hostility under a China-brokered deal in March. According to a statement issued late on Tuesday by Saudi Arabia's Foreign Affairs Ministry, a summit with African nations, which had been set for the weekend, would be postponed in order to focus on summits of Arab and Islamic nations.
The U.S. announced a $553 million project Wednesday to build a new deep-water shipping container terminal in the port of Colombo. According to the U.S. International Development Finance Corp., the project, financed with private loans, is billed as providing critical infrastructure for Sri Lanka, with the potential to transform Colombo into a world-class logistics hub at the intersection of major shipping routes and emerging markets. Colombo Port also has a terminal run by China merchant Port Holdings.
The DFC was established 5 years ago in response to Beijing's massive global infrastructure building campaign, known as the Belt and Road Initiative. DFC Chief Executive Officer Scott Nathan said the DFC's commitment of $553 million in private loans for the West Container Terminal will expand its shipping capacity, creating greater prosperity for Sri Lanka, without adding to sovereign debt, while at the same strengthening the position of our allies across the region.
Unusually early heavy snowfall blanketed swaths of northeastern China this week, forcing airlines to cancel flights, halting trains, and shutting schools and roads in the country's first major blizzard of the season. In Heilongjiang, China's northernmost province, a railway operator halted 51 passenger train on Tuesday due to the snowstorm. Harbin, the provincial capital, canceled more than 400 flights at its international airport on Monday, while some smaller airports in the province canceled all flights.
State-run news outlet The Paper reported that the first snowfall in northeast China usually takes place between late November and early December, citing a chief weather forecaster from China's National Meteorological Center. Harbin issued a red blizzard alert, the highest in China's 4-tier warning system, on Sunday and Monday. In the neighboring province of Jilin, more than 200 expressway entrances were closed on Monday due to heavy snowfall.
European Union scientists said on Wednesday, this year is virtually certain to be the warmest in 125,000 years, as data showed last month was the world's hottest October in that period. The EU's Copernicus Climate Change Service said last month smashed through the previous October temperature record. Copernicus data set goes back to 1940. C3S Deputy Director Samantha Burgess said, when we combine our data with the IPCC, then we can say that this is the warmest year of the last 125,000 years.
Burgess said, the record was broken by 0.4 degrees Celsius, which is a huge margin, who described the October temperature anomaly as very extreme. Globally, the average surface air temperature in October was 1.7 degrees Celsius warmer than the same month in 1850 to 1900, which Copernicus defines as the pre-industrial period. C3S said in a statement the record-breaking October means 2023 is now, virtually certain, to be the warmest year recorded.
Google is set to begin deleting millions of Gmail, Drive, and photo accounts next month. The purge will impact all personal Google accounts that have been left dormant for at least 2 years, with emails, documents, spreadsheets, calendar appointments, photos, and videos all permanently deleted. In order to keep an account active and avoid being deleted, Google users are advised to open or send an email, download an app on the Google Play Store, or simply make a Google search while logged into the account.
The media said the move is aimed at protecting active Google users from security threats like phishing scams and account hijacking. Old accounts that have not been used for years are typically at risk from hackers, as they may use the same passwords that have been compromised in other security breaches, which are easily available on the dark web. Google said any account at risk of deletion will receive multiple notifications before any action is taken, including to any associated recovery email addresses.
The answer for yesterday was C, navigate. During childhood, each of us have to navigate a pathway through a series of developmental stages. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into the news of this year, virtually certain to be warmest in 125,000 years. Number 1, smash, 捣毁, 打败, 粉碎, 使结束. She has smashed the world record. Number 2, virtually, 几乎差不多事实上实际上. Virtually all students will be exempt from the tax. Number 3, margin, 幅度差额差数. He won by a narrow margin. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's all for today's Funday news. Be sure to tune into Funday news from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Wei Li, your host. I'll see you next time.